We all know that Twitter is a cesspit for negativity and depravity and generally just not something that you should engage in. And I think this is a really good example of how people on there definitely can't understand or take a joke. If you've seen the Legends Arceus bingo race that I did with Shady, you'll know that the stakes was whoever won could tweet whatever they wanted on the other person's account. And spoiler alert for that video, which is a really good video if you haven't seen it yet, Shady ended up winning. So he could tweet whatever he wanted on my account. And when he sent me the message, I was like, okay, I think people will find this a little funny. Maybe there'll be some people that take it a little seriously, but surely most people understand that this is a joke when I say things like, I think Gen 9 is going to be the biggest letdown since Pokemon Puzzle League, which, I don't know, in my mind, I thought was quite clearly a joke. I mean, first off, we know nothing about Generation 9. We've seen barely anything about it, so it's way too early to make any kind of decisions on what the quality will be when it releases. And also, I said it was going to be the biggest letdown since Pokemon Puzzle League. I don't know, is that a bastion of side game quality? Do people really like Pokemon Puzzle League? Obviously, I was making a joke here, and Shady was making a joke when he told me send me that to tweet. I was like, I think this is gonna be a funny one. The Pokemon Puzzle League aspect should get across the fact that this is not being serious. However, since a lot of Twitter users have had the joke center of their brain amputated, a lot of people ended up taking this seriously. And here are some of the responses that we got. Here you have an example of the person who earns his living on the backs of the Pokemon company and still criticizes every single new game, but still buys the new games he's so criticized. He might be suffering from an attention-seeking syndrome. Very contagious. Worse than COVID-19. Well, I mean, yeah, I am a content creator, so our entire shtick is to be attention-seeking. And hey, I'm also going to be the one to say, yes, I criticize every Pokemon game because I think it's okay to criticize the products that you buy. But no, comparing it to COVID-19 is a very sane take and definitely not weird at all. Hi, I'm patterrz. I post baits on YouTube since my channel is dying. Lol, can you even read? Game footage not final. Well, first off, this guy seems to be a little bit lost since I posted that on Twitter, not YouTube. Also, if you're gonna attack my channel, at least make sure that you're accurate, because my channel has really never been doing better than it is right now. And of course, I've cropped out the users that are making these tweets because we want to look at Twitter kind of like a zoo. We want to maybe point and laugh a bit at the strange things that people are saying, but we never engage. Because engaging with Twitter users is like burning your time. You look like a human shit stain. Another very sane and valid response, Mr. Twitter for iPhone. People like you are why the Pokemon community sucks. I agree. People like me are why the Pokemon community sucks. First off, I do reactions, which reactors are terrible people. Secondly, I'm ginger. Oh my god, fuck, we have almost no information yet. Chill the fuck out. It's okay, Twitter for Android, I'm very chill. Virgin-like tweet, only to be expected of a, and I blurred this out because he literally called me a slur. Like patterrz. I would really love to know the correlation between not having sex and saying that a Pokemon game is gonna be a letdown. But the resorting to calling someone a slur because they made a silly tweet is a little bit weird. You think Leon's theme sucks? Opinion discarded. I'm still getting this! Why am I still getting this? Hey, Leon's theme, I stand by it. That's a valid opinion. Leon's theme sucks. But also, why am I still getting dunked on for this? Listen, I know my music taste may be a little bit weird, but it's all subjective, right? At the end of the day. Stinks of bait? Well, I'm glad that got 3 likes because you're right. It did stink of bait because it was complete bait. And I wasn't even trying to bait. It wasn't even an opinion that I actually hold. And also, I didn't even come up with it. That was Shady's master plan. We also gotta look at the quote retweets. People, please stop sharing negative Pokemon opinions on my timeline. I'm gonna start blocking people. Y'all do this every time. And it's sad AF. I assume I had a lot of people mute my account after this one, which is fine because the people that were muting the account after that probably weren't gonna be great contributors to discussion anyway. Angry face with that attitude? Yeah, probably. You're right. My attitude towards a game directly influences the developers working on it. Matt, the Pokemon community sucks, man. Everyone who isn't a fan artist should be banned from tweeting about Pokemon, in my honest opinion. I completely agree, Twitter for Android. I think that's genuinely a good idea that we should implement. But all of these tweets were just the warm-up to the worst thing that I saw in the past 24 hours, and actually the reason that I made this video. This take is the worst take that I've seen on Twitter in at least 1 week. Translation, the conflict on the other side of the pond is stealing too much attention away from my hot takes. So I'm gonna throw in some bait about how Gen 9 Pokemon is bad because ... reasons. Gotta stay relevant, guys. Now, as I'm sure you've all come to the conclusion, this is completely deranged. I have no idea how you could possibly make a correlation, a connection between the Russia-Ukraine invasion and me making a silly tweet about Pokemon, bringing that up for absolutely no reason whatsoever, as a desperate attempt for me to stay relevant. Yeah, that's why I did it. I was like, damn, Putin's got too much clout recently. He's got to share some of that out. Here, let me make a tweet so I can siphon some of that Putin clout back. Now, the worst part isn't like someone making a bad tweet, because there's always gonna be deranged people on Twitter that make really, really, really bad tweets. The worst part about it was it got 179 likes. There was 179 people that read that and were like, yep, no, that makes sense. I totally get it. Yeah, it's the Russia-Ukraine thing. Can't believe these PokeTubers are trying to siphon some attention away from that humanitarian crisis going on the other side of the globe. We cracked the case, boys! We did it! So I really think we should just follow the very, very sane advice from myself, which is just don't engage with Twitter. Just don't. You can look, like I said, just treat it like a zoo. And also, don't get too engrossed in it. Don't spend too much time on it. I moved my mentions away from the side of my screen that I watch so I can just watch tweets come in from my timeline from people that I actually care about. And I pretty much mute every single tweet that I put out these days because I realize that the responses that I get back from most of them don't actually contribute anything to my life whatsoever. I think the best thing to do is to just put things out into the world and just not worry about what people say afterwards. I used to do the absolutely crazy thing of looking at the replies to news accounts, which is the worst place to look at replies. If you've seen some of the replies on news accounts when a headline goes up, there are the most absolutely insane takes on the entire planet. And honestly, it's bad for your mental health. You should not be doing that. And I know that not everyone can detect a joke at the same level as everyone else. Like, some people have a harder time detecting sarcasm. Something that I think is very blatant sarcasm may not come across as blatant sarcasm to someone else. So I don't blame everyone for taking it a little bit seriously, even though I did mention Pokemon Puzzle League. But if you're gonna take one thing away from this, just be that you don't have to engage on Twitter. You don't have to reply. And when you think you're doing something with your reply or your quote tweet, you probably aren't doing anything. But anyway, I just thought it was funny. I just wanted to share that. That's all I wanted to share. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you later.